Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about World of Warcraft. In specific, World of Warcraft 2. Now, not an expansion, not a DLC, but a standalone game, like a new game, World of Warcraft 2. That's my topic today. Now, before I begin, I just want to say something. I'm recording some videos, right? Some gameplay videos, like some Final Fantasy or some World of Warcraft or fucking Angry Birds or anything, right? That I want to put behind this video. Well, not behind the video, but like in the video, so you don't have to see this face zoomed in all the time, right? But that's with the assumption that I'll be making new videos. So I don't want to promise anything because that's like a casino gamble, right? I'm not a promiser. I'm not really like a responsible person, so I'll do my best, right? But I don't really know if I go to sleep and if I'm gonna wake up tomorrow, right? So let's not making promises. I'm gonna take it easy, and we're gonna go on, right? So regarding the topic, World of Warcraft 2. Now, this topic has been mentioned before, like way before, like even 10 years before, right? People were mentioning like World of Warcraft 2, like what's gonna happen? Was Cataclysm World of Warcraft 2? Was MoP, WoD, Legion World of Warcraft 2, right? People were really like kind of mentioning this topic all the time. But right now, it's becoming a little bit more prevalent. Like a lot of people are making videos regarding WoW 2 and everything because the lore kind of suggests that Blizzard might legitimately pull something like that, like might snap a finger of the snap Jailer's fingers, right? And just fucking pull the fucking ripcord, like literally pull the ripcord and get it done, get it fresh. Now I've seen some videos, seen some ideas, heard some ideas, and I think a lot of those make sense, right? With the Jailer being like this Thanos of this expansion, and then making him the Sargeras and whatever, or actually combining Sargeras with Jailer, and we going back, like us going back to Illidan and rescuing Sargeras, so the Sargeras can become this new fucking good guy, whatever, or like a new neutral guy, and he beats the fuck out of the Jailer, right? He pulls out the sword, kills Azeroth, beats the fuck out of Jailer, and GG, no Azeroth. We gotta go move to a new planet or something else, right? I don't know. I might go in detail or like give some of my ideas of what could happen, or and like cover a little bit of the other ideas that I've heard later on. But for now, I just want to focus on the actual like gameplay side of the thing and the idea of like WoW 2, right? Because I feel like a lot of people, when they say WoW 2, it has a couple different meanings, right? WoW 2 doesn't necessarily have to be like a standalone game, even though that's what most people want right now. Like especially after like BFA and Shadowlands, like I feel like people just wanna have a fresh start. Like they don't want to log in and have this new content or whatever, and then have Shadowlands and fucking Zandalar and all that shit, Kultiras on the other side, right? They don't want to be reminded of that. So for now, I think I don't really know, to be honest. Like I was thinking about this a lot, right? I was thinking about WoW a lot, but I feel like there's a lot of difficulties and technical difficulties when it comes to this, right? First of all, I've heard a lot of people complaining. Well, if they make WoW 2, like what's going to happen to my character? What's going to happen to my characters? What's going to happen to my achievements, my mounts, or whatever? And to be honest, if the game dies, like eventually, like if it just dies, right after like 2 3 years, Blizzard like cuts the servers like in half, like 2/3 of the servers are cut and whatever, and you can't really play the game or whatever, right? Your character's already gone, right? But to be honest, I feel like the flip side of that is like as well. So if you allow people to keep their old shit, like all their old shit, like legacy shit, right? Like the same way as the achievements become feats of strength or they become legacy, right? It wouldn't really make sense to be a new game then, right? So if a little Tommy over there starts making his first character, right, in this new game, he logs on and then he sees like 500,000 people running on these like crazy ass mountains that don't even exist. Now I'm fine with a couple of mountains that don't exist anymore, right? Maybe like a dozen mountains, right? But like 700 mounts that you're never going to be able to obtain, that's fucking crazy, right? That's I don't think it's like, I don't want to say it's not fair, right? But I think a lot of people are comparing this to Final Fantasy and the Realm Reborn. Now I did a little bit of research. I am playing Final Fantasy, right? But like casually, right? But I did some research on what happened. So the game got released in 2010 at first, and it was pretty fucking trash. It was like garbanzo, like it was choppy, it was laggy, then it worked. Like when you switch gear, your character disappears and it reappears, or whatever. So in 2013, they hired, well, not in 2013, but the game was re-released as a Realm Reborn in 2013, under like new leadership, with the Yoshi guy. and it kind of fixed the whole game. And everything else in the past, like they got some fucking benefits, like all those guys were like in the ending credits, right? All the characters or whatever, right? But I don't think they got any benefits. Like I might be mistaken, right? But it doesn't really matter. That's the idea, right? People feel like WoW should be like they should do like a realm reborn, like a calamity for WoW. However, I think that's like a big problem with that because when Final Fantasy first patch, right, the 1.0 or whatever was released, and between that and the Realm Reborn, it's only been like a few years, right? It's been like a year, two, three, maybe. Uh, but with this, like with World of Warcraft, it's been like 16 years right now. Like this fucking this year is gonna be like 16 or like what 17th anniversary, which is crazy, man, right? And you can't really compare those two because there's so much thing that happened in WoW, so many things that happened in WoW, and the version of the game changed so many times that you can't really like do like a Realm Reborn, right? Because there are some good things, there are some bad things. In Final Fantasy, like the original game, everything like 14, everything was trash, right? Nothing was good. Um, so I don't think they're gonna actually be able to pull something like that. And then people are saying, "Oh, but what if they make this WoW 2 as a standalone game, and then they uh they kind of like leave the other game like working as classic?" Like that might make sense, but still no one's gonna play that. So Blizzard's probably not even gonna like put any attention to it. Like whatever is gonna be useless. Like playing that game is just gonna be like for cosmetic purposes. You log in like every couple of months just to reminisce, just to see all of your characters and whatever. Now, my personal opinion is I don't fucking know, right? I don't know what would be actually good for the game, like what would be good for the WoW 2 if Blizzard decides, right? They could do many things. Like they could do the lore thing where they like do a little patch build up until the end of Shadowlands, right? And they do something with the jailer where he actually succeeds and he becomes like this new big bad, and we don't fight him like until they actually continue with the expansions with the game. But they do like a complete fucking like something really crazy, like even crazier than Cataclysm, right? And they rework the game. When you come back to Azeroth, something happened, right? Like Nazoth was all this was like Nazoth corruption and whatever, or like Jailer snaps a finger and then universe is remade. You come back to Azeroth, it's like nothing, everything is in time zones. But I feel like Blizzard is doing too many of these like chromey times things, right? You go to a zone and there's like 10 versions of the zone. Like I don't really think that that's a smart idea. Like I like the idea where you come to the zone and there's this old version and a new version. I think it makes sense. But at this point, like they would have to make like 3 or 4 versions of the zone, which would make sense. And you go to BFA, and you have this BFA version of the zone, and I have this like new crazy version of the zone. And then if we like, how would it make sense after Shadowlands that we go back to Shadowlands, right? Because you got to look at it. There are some mountains you got to farm. There's this, there's that. So what? You make everything for Shadowlands like unavailable. Like Shadowlands is done. You can't ever go back. Like it doesn't make sense, right? So I feel like this next expansion, like there's either not going to be like a next expansion, like the game, if the game fails, right? Obviously, but there's either not going to be like a next expansion if they decided to pull something like that, or the next expansion is going to be something like really like there's going to be might be like a letdown, or all this old Azeroth might be like as a chromey time version, right? Some fucking time traveling where you're actually on a whole different planet and game, and you just come back to Azeroth. You can like time travel with chromie, like you press on a button and like she sends you back or something, just to find some mounts. But then it wouldn't make sense, right? That again doesn't make sense. But I could see Blizzard doing something like that, but it's kind of stupid, right? I feel like a lot of people when they talk about WoW 2, they want this like complete remake of the game with the new engine, new graphics, and everything, right? The new systems and new leadership, right? Because I don't think people are gonna trust this Blizzard currently right now to remake the game, right? But we don't even know if that's in the plan. Like, what if they've been like remaking the game for the past 5 years and they're about to drop it on BlizzCon? Like, yo, listen, since 2016, we've been remaking the game, and we actually have this beta version, alpha version of the game that we're going to put out. You're going to see how the new WoW works out, right? I don't really know, and I feel like there's even more problems when it comes to that. So if they even decide to like remake the whole game and make the actual like WoW 2, right? It's like GG new game, like whatever. We're gonna do this from the scratch, like something, right? Doesn't It's a new game, new engine, and everything. I feel like there's a lot of fucking things that you gotta be worried about. Like in 2014, well, 13 or whatever, when they were announcing WoD and new models, I was kind of scared to be honest because I've seen other games. I don't play really other games. Like I haven't played any other game except for like League and WoW for the past like 8 years. Play some player games, right? But no other MMOs, no other MOBAs. I don't play shooters, so I suck. I can't really like hit a folder on my desktop. But sometimes that's how bad I am in shooters, right? It's like I have fucking Parkinson's. So when they announced WoD and the character remodels, I was kind of fucking scared, right? Because I like WoW, I like the systems, I like the gameplay in WoW, I like everything. But most of all, I like the graphics. I like the look, and the look is like ageless, right? It doesn't age ever. You play vanilla right now, it looks similar to this WoW. Like you put those two together, yeah, this one looks better, this one looks worse, but you can see the resemblance like perfectly, instant, right? But it had this shitty ass, those motherfucking foxes on the ground. They're like just triangles, the rats that don't even have legs, like whatever, So it was really bad. But the game itself has this feeling, right? Has this graphical look that looks like a cartoon, but it's not too cartoonish, right? I use Fortnite as an example, right? People call Fortnite too cartoonish, and I do think Fortnite is a little bit too cartoonish. But if you play Fortnite, like if you played it at the start and you play it like in 10 years, it's gonna look the same and it's not gonna look bad. However, if you play like Halo or Call of Duty, and you play Call of Duty for like 10 years and you play it now, and you compare the new game and the first game, they look like trash. They look completely trash. They have to update the thing. So if they decide that they're going to do a complete graphical overhaul and whatever, which I think they should, but I think they nailed it with WoD. They really did. That's what I was trying to say. I just stumbled myself. Uh, they nailed it with WoD. I think they made the perfect thing in WoD. The characters, the textures, they all were the same but better. So they need to be right now that this when you log in into this new game, you need to see it as WoW, right? It is World of Warcraft. Like you don't have to look for resemblances. You just look at a game and say it's World of Warcraft, right? That's my game, right? It's not like, oh, this looks like WoW. Oh, this is kind of similar to WoW, right? No. You gotta log in and says, wow, like World of Warcraft looks way better now, right? You gotta see it that way, and I think that takes so much work and so much skill and so much dedication and passion that I don't really think. I think that's one of the hardest things as well. And now another problem could be also like the engine. Like right now, Blizzard is using this old ass engine that they've been like customizing and updating like every single year, which pretty much most of the games do, right? But when you use the engine from like 1999 or like 2000 or whatever, right? It is pretty bad, right? It doesn't really work. You have this spell queuing issues and whatever, where you can't really have like 10 versus 10 PvP in the world because the game has trouble, calculating everything. That's Blizzard's fault for adding so many effects, right, on items where the game has to calculate, and there's no snapshotting, right? So that's a big issue, right? You have this internal lag, which like is fucking crazy, right? It ruins the game. Like every single time a new raid comes out, like or like where there's a spike in players rating, like on Wednesday night, like it's impossible to play sometimes, right? You have these crazy lag spikes in the game, and it's insane, right? But that's not a big deal right now. I feel like those are some technical difficulties. There's probably like a million more. I'm not really like a game dev. I play the game, but I don't know how to design it, right? If I knew, I probably would apply to Blizzard after the allegations. If I was a woman, I don't think so, right? If I was a man, I don't really think so, man. Maybe there's like a gay motherfucker over there who wants to jump me, right? No offense, but right, you know what I mean. So sorry, there's a car outside. So I feel like those are some of the technical difficulties. I feel like the idea itself is really risky, but at some point you got to take the risk, right? At some point it has to happen. Uh, People were giving so many good ideas for the game and like for the actual. Doesn't have to be sequel. It can be something completely different, like World of Warcraft 2, right? It doesn't have to be World of Warcraft 2. It's kind of stupid, right? World of Warcraft 2. Like I say, WoW 2, WoW ahead. Some shit like it makes no sense, right? I feel like they would have to literally dive deep and like cut into the philosophy of the game and see what they want to do with this, right? What is this type of game? What is this World of Warcraft 2? What is it? Is it only like a new engine and just like a setup for future, right? It's gonna be WoW, but it's just gonna be like better looking WoW, better feeling WoW, whatever. Because you gotta understand, like Blizzard used to, and I say used to because right now we can't really see that. They used to have this polish. You used to play any other game. If you play Final Fantasy, whatever, I use it as an example. and you go in combat and you walk around in Final Fantasy or whatever, sometimes it feels clunky, right? But in a Blizzard game, Diablo 3, Overwatch, uh, Overwatch, right? World of Warcraft, the pressing the keys and pressing the mouse button and interacting in the world feels perfect all the time. There's no clunkiness, there's no annoyances, there's no mechanical difficulties. Like when you press spells and whatever, they work. They do what they're intended to do. When you press W, right, to move or whatever, there's no acceleration. There's no this. Like, it's very responsive. It's a responsive game. It's a polished game. Now, the reason why it's polished is because it was polished way long ago, right? Like long time ago when people actually played the game and cared about the game, right? So right now it's a little bit different. Um, However, I think that people like kind of underestimate and forget about the Blizzard polish, and I think the reason why they forget and why they forgot about the Blizzard polish is because the polish was kind of like was kind of lacking, in the past couple of years. I don't mean completely, but I mean like in general, it wasn't that Blizzard polish that people were ready to pay like $50 for expansion for, right? So I think that's like one of the concerns as well. I feel like perhaps Blizzard not really knowing how to pull that again, and perhaps like having new people come in and who aren't really like don't really have the same set of tools and the craftsmanship that the old guard had. I feel like that might actually that might actually be a problem and a huge problem because when you log in a WoW, you have this reflex in your fingers and whatever, you know how everything works, right? And when you log in this new game, it needs to have that. It needs to have, like, assuming it's going to be like the WoW game, right? It needs to have that polish. It needs to have that feel. When you bridge the spells, the arena needs to feel responsive. When you play arena in Final Fantasy, it feels like trash. Now, I know PvP in Final Fantasy is trash, and it's not a really big focus, but a lot of games like a lot of MMOs with these PP things or whatever, New World with a role, with a Dark Souls role, right? Whatever, that's trash, right? That's trash. Like WoW has the best MMO PvP feel, at least from the ones that I've tried. It feels the best. It feels the smoothest. The combat feels really, really good. Pressing buttons and doing damage feels good, right? I'm not saying in other games it doesn't feel good. I'm saying WoW does it better. Or at least it used to do better, so it still does right now because we're still using the old engine. Uh, so if Blizzard even decides to do something like that, I feel like if they still don't have a plan, and if they're right now making this plan for this new game and whatever, I don't think we're gonna see WoW 2 in like 5 years. Uh, However, if this was already in plans, which would be crazy, but I feel like it would be good, right? Would be good because right now with the state of the game, I don't think people will want to play the next patch if there is next patch, right, or the end of expansion. I don't feel like people will want to play the new expansion. If we go to this like new, if they actually continue with the story and we go to this like new cosmic world or whatever, I think they push the. I think they're jizzing on the cosmic chart a little bit too much. I feel like we went into galaxies and stars. People were smoking way too many funny cigarettes. And we're going into this crazy fucking rocket launching things, right? We're following fucking Jeff Bezos. So I'm not really sure. I feel like the game should get a slap, like a little, not a slap, but actually a fucking punch, like a knockout. And I feel like we should go back to the simpler times where I'm an orc and I see a human, I want to kill him, right? I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to discuss about it. I don't want to talk about peace or anything. I just want to kill the guy, right? I want to kill the motherfucker. I don't want to work with him. I don't want to have this like fucking flying man, bald fucking man with a hole in his chest, like pointing fingers all the time and mumbling, telling how he's gonna do this and that and snap his fingers, and then I gotta like group up with a human, right? What are we gonna get? Cross factions and shit? Hell no, dude. Like I want to do simple times where I'm nobody. I log in a game. I'm a fucking nobody, right? I'm a little orc and I'm an orc. I'm my race and I'm me, my race, my class, and my name. That's who I am. And then from there on, you build it forward, right? I'm not this champion. I'm not this hero. I'm not a motherfucker. Little Tommy who has to go to bed at 8 p.m. because his mom is gonna beat him up if he doesn't wake up for school. I don't want him to be a hero, so I'd rather not be a hero if he's not gonna be a hero, right? I want to be a little peasant, little villager. I go in and I kill some chicken, right? And I do whatever the fuck, right? I think the game needs to be simpler, way simpler, and I think that Blizzard has to nail it. Like I don't have a problem with huge adventures and whatever, but I have a problem with where like the player is praised and then everybody gets a different cinematic every single time because your player is the most important one. I think story in MMO is really important, but I feel like you as a player should kind of like impact the story, but you shouldn't be the center of the story. I feel like you should be the adventurer, right? You should be the little motherfucker that gets used for shit, right? That you have a choice what you want to do, right? If you want to do the raids, then you're going to be used for the raids. You're going to be like the little guy. Remember the raids before? Like they tell you, go on, champions, go on and kill this boss so that we can actually go in and do the important shit. So please kill this guy because we don't want to waste our time, right? I think raids should be. I think the raid difficulties and whatever I can do like a whole video on raids. It probably will, 5 minutes. I feel like the game needs fixing. The game needs a little normalization that they went too far off the road and they literally like the earth is flat and they literally fell off the earth and they catapulted themselves into space, and that's why we have Jailer right now. I feel like it's a little bit too crazy, and I feel like Blizzard is trying to sell this craziness as this like wow, like a wow crazy factor, in new expansion so that people can come back like, oh, we're visiting Shadowlands, crazy as fuck, whereas it's only like 4 zones. It's nothing special. Like if you told me it was something else, if you told me like it was like I don't know, a zone on Azeroth, I would probably think it is, right? Who the fuck knows? Like it's not on the like Moldraxis could be like Eastern Playlands rework, right? It doesn't really matter. I'm not saying the zones was bad. I'm just saying like I feel like they're trying to pull something that doesn't need to be done, right? People don't really want that. It looks crazy. It looks like a single player game or some shit. Like it doesn't really matter. So regarding the game, I feel like regarding the story and the lore, I feel like they are, like I mentioned this before, I feel like they are going, well, not going, but I feel like they have this opportunity to do that. And I think they didn't have it before. They might have had it with Legion, even with BFA, right? With going back in time. And people were giving some crazy ideas, like saying that this is all like an Azoth dream, and then we wake up like on ICC or some shit, or we actually like WAD was something crazy, like WAD was just a simulation or some shit, or that we all lost to Azoth, or that we can actually like go to this pinnacle of space and whatever, and we can make a wish, and then we're gonna wish we go back to before WAD or before Legion or some shit, right? I really think they're gonna pull a Sargeras over here, and I really don't know, like I don't know how they're gonna do this, because there's always like this with one expansion with like crazy like godlike people fighting us and whatever, and then the next expansion is us coming back to fight over Azerite, right? Like in Legion, we were fighting Sargeras and we were fighting Argus and whatever, right? And then we beat the fuck out of it, and then we come back. Oh, let's argue about this new ore that we found, right? Like, and then every expansion, we start the expansion with this bullshit, fucking we're raiding a castle, right? And then we go and fight this crazy fucking shit, right? Same as Legion, but Legion was a little bit different. I feel like it's a little bit too much. And I feel like they could pull a Sargeras. They could use Sargeras and Nilden because they have them stacked over there. I feel like it's maybe a little bit too soon. But at this point, I don't think anything is too soon. I think it's too late. I feel like they can definitely pull a Sargeras, get him out, with Illidan. Illidan's over there. They sacrifice Illidan. We don't need Illidan. I feel like if they reuse the character too much, it's gonna become annoying as fuck, right? I think they just use Illidan with Sargeras. He dies with him or some shit, right? And then Sargeras pulls out the sword or something, from the planet or something, right? He kills Jailer. They have a massive battle. There's a huge fucking raid or something, and then marks the end of World of Warcraft as we know it, or they use the Jailer as this new Sargeras or something, right? Because I do feel like there should be a big bad, but I feel like that big bad shouldn't be something crazy like the Void Lords, something unreachable, something that's actually like if you defeat that, then what do you have? I feel like the Sargeras being a big bad was a perfect balance of not being able to reach him and being able to scrap his fingernail a little bit, right? I feel like that's the best balance that they've had. Like we're never gonna fight Sargeras, but we're gonna be close to fighting his minions or whatever. I feel like that's really good. I don't think they can pull that with the Jailer, especially us being there when he was kind of like chained and whatever. It makes sense. Like it's too much contact, too close. Like Sargeras was never close contact with Sargeras. It was only like with his avatar or his lieutenants, right? So I feel like having Jailer right now become this crazy shit with no lore behind him before Shadowlands, right? With us just knowing that like who he is right now and what he does and what he wants to do, and then having Sylvanas thinking she can outsmart like a demigod or something like that. I think it's bullshit. I think they should wrap it up with a Jailer, and they should make something else, or go really back to some simpler times, right? When the fucking Warcraft 3 hero, Arthas was a big bad. Like when people in vanilla were waiting to kill Arthas, when they were waiting to see Illidan, but Illidan and Arthas aren't like these demigods or whatever. They're just really really strong characters that require 25 people to kill, right? So I feel like that's like my, I don't know how to say it, like those are my ideas. Those are my well, only ideas, right? I feel like the difficulties are there, and it will pretty much be really, really fucking hard to achieve. And I'm excited. I really am excited. Like, the WoW news have become like my favorite TV show right now, because I wake up and I go to Wowhead or like the forums or something, and I just wait to see like what's going to happen. Right, I'm literally just waiting for the sequel now. Like, I don't really want to play. Like, I have to play Final Fantasy and everything, but I just really want to play WoW. And to be honest, I don't want to play this WoW. I just want to see what's going to happen. Like, I just want to talk about WoW. I just want to talk about why all this bullshit happened. Like, why I stopped playing the game, and I just want to. I don't know, man. To be honest, I just want to lay in my bed and do nothing. Like, just wait, just fall asleep and wake up when all this is done, or just fall asleep and wake up in 2011, or 12, some shit, right? That's literally my fucking thing. I don't know. Well, thank you for watching. I'll pop some more videos. I'll talk about some other dumb ideas and whatever, and maybe I'll cover something else. Maybe I'll cover some Final Fantasy shit. But I'm only level 60 right now, so I'll be getting 80 in some time, right? So I might make some videos of my what's it called, my opinions on the game, essentially my experiences. So thank you very much, and I'll see you later.